Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? Um, in this video I wanted to give my opinion on some current events that are going on right now. More to the point would be the presidential election. So if you're really not like a fan of politics, this video isn't for you, so because I'm going to be discussing that a lot. I recently got into politics because I was watching the House of Cards series on Netflix, and just found it really amazing and pretty interesting. So I started looking up some things, what's going on in our current politics at the moment, and the big thing right now is Donald Trump running for president, and right now it's down to him versus Hillary, and I know a lot of people are not a fan of Donald Trump. Me myself, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump either, but I'm definitely not a fan of Hillary Clinton, that's for sure. She was known to, I'm not an expert on the subject, but apparently she deleted some emails that needed to be reviewed by the government and by Congress, and she deleted them because she had something to hide, and that's actually a felony. She can go to jail for that. So I just find it really interesting that nothing has been done yet. And I don't think anything is going to be either, because she was recently endorsed by President Obama. So you know, there you go again. I'm not that big a fan of Obama either. He's pretty much riding the fence as always. So by him endorsing Hillary, it's he's basically stating that he sort of, it's kind of like a presidential pardon. The president has the power to pardon somebody from felony charges. So basically, without saying it, he's actually doing it with his endorsement of Hillary Clinton. So law enforcement officials aren't going to, are basically going to ease up and take a seat back with regards to the crime that basically she committed, and I don't think that's right. I really don't. It's not fair, but yeah, that's politics, I guess. But let's get into more about Donald Trump, and I really don't like him, but at the same time, you have to really, listen to what he says, and a lot of people are yelling, oh, he's a racist, he hates women, and I mean, if you really listen to what he says in a lot of his debates and a lot of his speeches, he doesn't necessarily say anything overtly racist. I mean, I see how it can be taken as racist, but I mean, there's a fine line between, what he really said and how the other person is perceiving it. So I think a lot of things that he's saying are, make a lot of sense. That in my opinion, he doesn't come off as fake. I mean, yeah, he's a little much, and as far as personality wise, I really don't like him. But I mean, a lot of the things he's saying make sense, as far as immigration wise, because I mean, it's really not fair that people get a pass, whether they're from Mexico, Muslims, or any part of the world. If you're not a United States citizen, you shouldn't come and live in the country without through the proper channels. And you have to get your papers, you have to get registered. You know, there's a system in place for specific reasons, and people need to do it. I mean, it's the law. You know, it's not being racist. It's the law. You know, because there's repercussions if you don't, you know, follow that. So I mean, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of Hispanics saying that, you know, they came here legally, and they actually, you know, they're quite upset that now, like, anyone can just come into the country, and, you know, all the hard work that they did, all the hard work that their family did, you know, doing things the proper way, the legal way, and then other people are just getting in, you know, for free. And I really don't think that's right. And you know, I think Obama made it too easy for illegal immigrants to come to this country. And you know, I think we're paying the price right now, because our unemployment rate is high. You know, the country's in debt. You know, I like to think of myself as a, you know, as a patriot. You know, I love America. I was born here. I'm an American citizen. You know, my nationality background is Italian, you know, Puerto Rican and Cuban. And so you know, my grandfather was an immigrant. My father was born in Cuba. My grandfather spent a lot of time, you know, working. You know, 8 years he spent working very hard to save up money so that, you know, his family can come here and have a better life. And the fact that people can just, you know, walk across the line, you know, with no effort, I mean, it's frustrating. You know, what is the point of having borders? You know, if you're not going to respect the borders, you basically have no country. So yeah, I think people need to be more aware about things, and not just eat up what the media feeds them, and really, you know, pay attention and understand the situations a bit better, instead of being overtly sensitive and just sort of yelling, oh, that's racist. It's like, well, you know, understand what they're talking about first. And that's why I think Donald Trump, as much as I really don't like him, I think that he would be the best candidate, because he's going to enforce laws that people are just ignoring, and I don't think that's right. So he's gonna put a stop to that. And at the beginning, he didn't want to be president. He's just the guy that just doing it because he feels that has no other option, because, you know, all these politicians are just taking advantage of the system and using it to their benefit. And Trump doesn't need to do that. I mean, he's already a billionaire. He has nothing to gain from becoming president. Of course, maybe he can change a few laws and legislation to make himself more money, which I mean, you know, it's pretty obvious. People with money and power want even more money and power. But you know, and even if Donald Trump does become president, I really don't think he's gonna build a wall. I think most of the things he just said is for publicity. You know, that's another thing that you have to, you know, you can dislike someone, but, you know, you still can respect them, because, I mean, he hasn't spent any money on publicity, and he's getting all this free publicity in the media just because of these outlandish things that he's saying. It's really smart on his part. But anyways, you know, people need to stop freaking out and worrying about anything, because whoever becomes president, the way our government is set up, there's a system of checks and balances. So I mean, yeah, they can change a few things here and there, but nothing major is going to happen, and it's definitely not going to be the end of the world if Donald Trump really does become president. If anything, he'll just be another placeholder like Barack Obama. Or maybe he does change some things, and there's better trading with China, and the immigration the immigration issue gets resolved, and there's a good balance, and not everyone is never going to be happy. You can't please everyone. You just have to please the majority of people, and you got to make sure that the majority of people is happy. And if you have that majority comfortable and content, then you're doing your job. And I think that's what being president would entitle. So yeah, guys, I hope I didn't bore you too much with the politics. Just wanted to give my 2 cents in, and yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and take care.